Thank you all. Thank you, Enrico, who will return at the finish of the presentation. I take my control, but it's not working now. So please, the next, let's go to the collected data and the outcomes. So about the total responded organizations, we had 134 organizations from 26 countries and 5 regions. In the map of the right, you could see the colored countries from where these organizations are. As you can see, we had no organizations in Africa yet, no Georgia. The next survey, of course, we will have. But in Asia, we have only in the south. This is not the picture of all WFTC organizations. It's important to give that, to take this information, because this survey not represent all the organizations, represent only the respondents. So it's, of course, it's the total number is really higher than this. About the respondent organizations by region, Latin America was the first region with more respondent organizations, 75, representing more than half of the total of the organization. After it, North America, Asia, Europe, and Oceania. And in the map at the right, you can see the colored countries. The darker the country, the more respondent organizations it has. So we will not present now by country because of the time, but if you want to see the total data and the data by country, you could get it in the report we will launch in the next days. No, you will receive it in the WFTC news. Lonnie will share, of course. And after that, you could get in the website of WFTC. You will get at the end of this presentation. About the assisted and reached people, that we think is the most important data. How many people we can reach and assist. More than 500,000 people were reached and assisted only in 2021, only in the respondent organization, not in the whole WFTC organization. So it's really possible that this number could be 1 million or more. But this lack of data of the non-respondent organization is something that we really need to improve in the next step, in the next survey, to year after year have more accurate data. About the total assisted and reached people by region, North America, even being the second in number of respondent organization, was the first in number of assisted and reached people, with 276,000 people, even the half of the total. And after it, Latin America, Asia, Europe, and Oceania. And in the left, you can see the map. As the darker the country, the more assisted and reached people it had. The scope of work, we divided in 3 categories: national work, local work, and international work. And you can see in the graph that more than half of the organizations reported having national work. And in the graph on the right, you can see this data by region. In Latin America, for example, you can see that most of the organizations were only local, with local work. And in Asia too. It's probably depending on the level of development of the region, the size and the development of these organizations too. So in North America, Europe, and Oceania are more national and more international organizations, considering the total by region. About the type of work, we divided in 3 categories: grassroots, advocacy, and both. And again, in Latin America, the most of them are only grassroots organizations. That again, it's talking about the size and the level of development. It's a region with a lot of organizations, but of course, I being from Latin America, I know it, these organizations need more development, and that's because of this that we are here, of course. Again, more than half of the total organization reported only grassroots work. You can see that only advocacy organizations were more in Latin America and North America. Europe reported more those combined organizations, and Asia too. About the numbers of employees, that talk about the size of the organization. The total, we divided in three categories: less than 10, 10 to 50, or more than 50. And the total were balanced between the three categories, as you can see in the pizza graph. And in the graph at the right, you can see that again, in Latin America, there were more small and medium organizations, and in the other regions, there were more bigger organizations with 10 to 50 or more than 50 employees. As I said, in the report you can get all the specific information by country too, and we want to encourage all the organizations of the world to fill and respond to the next report we will start to carry in the next year, because it's really important to understand who we are and what we are doing, and especially what we need to do starting to now. Enrico, you could finish the...
So, what are the goals